I love I love a lot of things about it. I think the coolest thing for me is helping somebody find a home. It's it's such a big honor, and a lot of my friends or first time home buyers that have bought their first property, to see them start a family in that place or have it be a stepping stone to wherever they go next. Um, it's super cool. It's a big honor.
Have you ever, because you mentioned in the show, I mean, I know you were just kidding that, your wife is your second love and surfing is your first love. I'm sure that's another thing you've heard people.
It is. It's so fun. So I just have this like a self-deprecating sense of humor, and I sometimes will. I mean that is a foot in mouth joke right there. But I don't love surfing more than everything else. I was just saying that I really really love surfing and have always loved surfing, but it's not at the top of my list.
I took it as a joke. I understood your sense of
Yeah,
humor. Like, obviously, you love your wife more.
yeah.
How did she feel about that statement?
She laughed about it. I mean, she knows. I mean, I love surfing. It's my church. I need it. I need the ocean. My gills get dry if I don't surf for a few days. So she knew what I was saying and laughed about it. But
Do you ever feel like, I knew you grew up surfing, of just saying, like, see you later, real estate. It's just going to be surfing now?
I mean, I did that for a long time. I surfed forever. I competed on the amateur circuit growing up and did some professional events and then worked with surf companies. And I still have surf sponsorships now that I still work with. But I love real estate. I love having the balance of both. I think I could live without real estate easier than I could live without surfing, but I love the balance of both.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Did this process, like, of filming the show, like, change you as a person in any way? And if so, how? Or am I just being way too deep for the
Yeah, I don't know.
moment?
Yeah, I don't know if it changed me as a person per se. I think, I mean, maybe a little bit. I guess I would be like an introverted extrovert, and through all this, it's kind of helping me be a little bit more extroverted and enjoy the process. I haven't always enjoyed being center of attention, and so you kind of have to embrace it a bit more through doing this, so that people can know you. Really, if you're too shy on camera and no one gets to know you, then what's the point of sharing? So yeah, I think I'm coming out of my shell a bit more, which is good.
That makes sense too. What about the fact, I mean, I go back to the same interview that Alex Hall did, which I read it twice, where she says, like, Jarvis and Rose were never supposed to be a part of the show and they were just opportunists and they just kept showing up when the cameras were there and they were never cast members. And
Yeah,
they kind of got themselves on the show because they were desperate and had a plan and thirsty and all these. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she said.
yeah. So I read that as well. Originally, they weren't cast. Originally, it was, I think it was the five girls, us four guys, and Jarvis and Rose weren't part of it. And they were on. It was confusing when they were at scenes at the beginning, and I think Alex even speaks to that point. And it felt like they were coming to the table with these drama points to kind of assert their relevancy, which is kind of how the drama all started. But they ultimately ended up being cast members, and it is what it is.
It is what it is, right? I mean, I don't even know if that's such a bad thing. If that's your
No,
goal,
no.
and here you are on the show is freaking great. Like, who cares, really?
The more the merrier. I think there's room for all of us here, and I think it's good.
What about when something comes out, like, like Alexandra Rose, there's this rumor, like, she slept her way or she sleeps her way for, like, listings. And,
Yeah.
Polly has said that that rumor is made up by Alexandra Rose. Like, she made it up to kind of give herself more.
I don't know anything. I have heard that rumor. I don't know where it started. That's something you'd have to ask Alex Rose about. I don't know. Maybe she did. Who knows?
What's your biggest real estate, like, flex? Like, what is there something, like, where you've had, like, a hard sale, just, and then you sold it, like your biggest sale? Like, what's kind of your feather in your cap for real estate?
I think the biggest one that I ever worked with my dad was this property in Newport Coast that sold for 45 million. At the time, it's been 5 or 6 years since it sold now, but at the time it was a record-breaking sale in Newport Beach. We sold one at the Montage. We sold the same property twice, but the last buyer was actually Mark Cuban. So I've had a number of big sales in the teens, 20s, and up to 45 million with the family business.
Mark Cuban's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Do you watch Shark Tank? Like, what are your reality TV?
I do love Shark Tank. I
It's
do love
great.
I'm a sucker. I love. I watch The Bachelor. Love at First Sight. I'm a big Top Chef fan. I love cooking shows. Um, yeah,
Do you watch all the other ones like Love Island, F Boy Island, all of that?
I've watched both those. Yep, yeah. Those ones are spicier versions. They're like candy. Like I can only take them in small doses, but they're good.
It's like I never would have thought you'd be a reality TV fan.
Everybody watches reality. If you say you don't, you're lying. I mean, that's the truth.
I think so.
Yeah.
What about, we maybe see, I know like a lot of people's spouses and like significant others, like, do you think your wife would ever be part of this show going forward? I know this season, obviously, we don't see her.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we try and keep our professional lives separate, so that's where we stand now, and that's probably where we would stand, but who knows?
Before I move on to another question, do you have a favorite Brittany Snow movie?
I love all the Pitch Perfects. Everybody does, but Pitch Perfect one specifically.
Such a good answer. It's such a good show. It's such a good show.
Yeah.
What about if you were ever going to move to LA, like, and you were going to call an agent from the Selling Sunset crew? Do you have a favorite, like an agent that you would use? It doesn't have to be your favorite, but someone you would use if you were going to.
That's a good question. I think based on my interactions, I would have Amanza represent me. She's the best. She's so sweet, so nice. And I've met her like twice, so I don't have a ton of, there's not a long relationship there, but she just seemed very easy to work with, very smart, very cool.
She's a good one. Well, Selling Sunset is already greenlit for, the next 2 seasons. I can tell you, I mean, I know nothing is announced at Netflix, but this show is coming back. I can guarantee you that because it's such a big hit. Are you, like we said, things last for, a minute. Like, are you looking forward to, say, season 2, where, the drama probably won't be about you being someone trying to kiss you? Like, are you looking forward to that hot seat just being shifted to someone else?
I would love nothing more. I would love nothing more. Yeah, no, I think if there was a season 2, that would be exciting to kind of show more of what I do in the business world and show more of who I am, and have it be less about that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, that's the great thing about the show. Like I was saying, like, I have watched Selling Sunset from the beginning, but I've learned things. Like I never knew if the sales price was so high that it's not a 3% commission. Yeah. I never knew that people still door knocked. I mean, I was shocked to hear that. I didn't even know that was really a thing.
I mean, it's dog eat dog. It's dog eat dog. I think in places like LA, that's much more common. In Orange County, it's a little bit less because it is smaller and you can't really be too dog eat dog, or word gets around. But yeah, totally, it happens.
What is the state of the market like in Orange County now? Like, is there